Hello, my name's Maria and you're watching The Rich and Simple Living, and we're taking part in Vlogmas 2024. So today is day 8. I am having to think. I thought we'd do a quick Q&A today, so I'm just going to adapt to a bit. It's gone dark out, it's later in the day, it's darker, and I've had to put the artificial ring light on, so I used it for a while. So I'm going to try and get it right so I'm not too fuzzy. And if you hear any background noises, it might be my dishwasher. I'm not sure if it's finished or not. So anyway, here we are. So like I said, I'm going to do some question and answers. I'd best bring my book toward me a bit, actually. I've got you stood on my book. That's it. Right, some question and answers. So I've been sent questions by you viewers, and I've been asked questions as well away from the camera, and I've collected them all together, and I've got enough for probably 2 Q&As. I really am not right with this camera today. It's doing my head in. Let's see if we can alter it. I know I should set all this up beforehand, but I did try once and it was all wrong, so I thought, well, we'll just have to roll with it or we're never going to get one done today. So we'll do just that. Anyway, I've jotted these questions down, so I'm going to do 7 questions today, and then we'll have another Q&A a bit further on in the coming days, and do the second half perhaps a week from now, something like that. So we'll do number 1 question. We've got the easy ones today. So, what's my favourite Christmas film? Well, what I did was ask myself these questions, and whatever came into my head first, obviously that must be it. But I had 2 things pop into my head with my favourite Christmas film. One is A Christmas Carol, and 2 is Christmas Vacation. And so I thought, well, are they both like a joint favourite? Would I prefer one over the other? So I thought to myself, well, what if you was to have to get rid of one and only keep one? Which one would you want to keep? And straight away, Christmas Vacation come in my head. I didn't want to get rid of that one. So that must be my favourite Christmas film. I love The Christmas Vacation. I don't know how many of you have watched it, but it's a brilliant film. It's just like everything that could go wrong at Christmas time does go wrong. All the disasters with presents, decorations, unexpected visitors and everything like that. And it is like a normal Christmas. It's like things that actually can happen, but they've overemphasized it, and it just goes crazy. So yeah, everyone could relate to it or parts of it, but this just goes really overboard. I do love it. That is my favourite film, Christmas Vacation. So second question, so if that's my favourite film, what's my favourite Christmas song? I don't know to that one. I don't have a favourite Christmas song. I tried thinking what come into my head first of all, and it was songs from when I was little, things like Wizard and was that Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, and the Slade one. So it's things that to think about when I was little. And I do love, you might laugh, but I like the Wombles that sings Wombling Merry Christmas. I love that song. I don't know why, but I just love it. And I suppose I like things like Band-Aid, the original one, the one that's celebrating its 40 years. I like that one. That came out the first year me and Dean were married, our first married Christmas together. And yeah, things like that. But if I was to pick a top favourite, I don't know. I think I'd like the ones from when I was a child, from the 70s. That would be sort of my favourite ones that I'd like to keep listening to. But I do love all Christmas songs. I like Christmas carols as well. I don't think anybody asked me about Christmas carols before I go and answer it, just in case. I'll make sure. No, I can't say anything. So yeah, Christmas carols as well. I like oh dear, forgotten the name for it. Can't remember what it is now. I'm not going to sing it. It's a choir sung one. Oh, Holy Night. actually. I'm not sure if the choir does sing it. But I like that one. I like Oh Holy Night. That's really nice. And when I was a child, I remember I used to sing, was in the choir. I don't know how I got in there because my music teacher had to sit me at the front and put my hand on the piano so I could feel the vibes of the tune. So I'd sing in tune. So why you put me in the choir, I don't know. Maybe we didn't have many in the choir, but we used to sing in church, and we sang at Christmas time, and it was lovely. I loved doing the Christmas carols. Once in Royal David City, I like something, if I'm singing it, I like something a bit with humph, you know. I never liked Silent Night. I don't like that. It's far too slow for me, so I could never get on with Silent Night. Certainly couldn't sing it, and I'm not fond of listening to it either. But I like things like Good King Wenceslas, and I liked Once in Royal David City as well. That was quite good, although that was a bit slower, but I just liked it. I don't know why, but yeah. I like that Oh Holy Night. Couldn't sing it, mind. So yeah, they're my favourite songs. I wouldn't say I've got one particular one that stands out, because when I'm asking myself, like, when people have asked me these questions, so I ask myself the question then to see what pops up in my head first, like I did with the movies. Nothing particularly popped up. It was just a whole cluster of things. But I do like the songs when I was little, because I think it reminds me of being little. And like my dad's favourite song was Roy Wood's Wizard. So yeah, he liked that. I actually don't live far away from him, actually. We do see him out and about sometimes. But yeah, that pops into my head, but it does pop in with a few other things as well. Question number 3. What's my favourite Christmas food? Well, anything with chocolate. I like to have my chocolate. That doesn't just strictly stick for Christmas though. But yeah, a Christmas food. I don't know really. I just like everything that you have that sort of goes in to make it all up, kind of thing. Like to have a roast dinner, and I like the bread sauce on the top and everything, and the roast dinners, Brussels sprouts, and I like to think, oh, I'm going to have my Christmas pudding next, and I like Christmas pudding with custard. So although those things wouldn't jump out at me as being my favourite foods, but altogether, you know, that is nice. I like Christmas dinners and the puddings, and like at tea times we have salads, and we have trifle, and Christmas cake, mince pies, all that kind of thing. So although I wouldn't say any one on its own as my favourite, but putting it all together for that meal, I like that. That's special. And we do it at Easter time as well. It's not just Christmas dinner. We have a very similar one on Easter Sunday as well. And if we've got leftover Christmas puddings, and definitely we save a turkey normally, but if we've got leftover Christmas puddings and that, we'll use them at Easter. Sometimes if we've got quite a lot, we'll save some till the following Christmas, because they do have good dates on them. But sometimes we'll eat them Easter after our Easter Sunday dinner, which is the exact same as our Christmas dinner. So yeah, but can't think of anything. I mean, I like all the different things you get at Christmas, you know. And I'm thinking again, like the biscuits and chocolatey things, you know, you have the little snack things or the little gifty things you give that you can eat. Nice things like that. I do like all that, you know, but I don't think anything stands out as being fair. I do look forward to the first mince pie though. I like mince pies. But yeah, I can't think of anything that would stand out. And either when I was a child thinking of Christmas food, I don't think of anything that particularly stood out. Apart from when I was allowed Branston pickle on me salads. Oh dear. That didn't do too well though, because I suffer acid now, but I still have some. But yeah, no one in particular, but the whole thing together as the meal, that I like that. So what's the best thing I've ever had for Christmas? What's the best thing I've ever had for Christmas? As a child, I think the first thing I think of is having like a radio cassette player. Well, cassette player, that was great. You could sing into it and everything, and also you could play tapes, obviously, and record things. Remember watching Top of the Pops and having the microphone with the telly to record favourite songs. That was really good. I really loved that. That's probably the first thing I think of when I think of Christmas toys. And you had loads of Christmas toys. I can remember dolls from when I was young, and I can remember having watches and pen sets. I can remember all the stockings. I loved the stockings that we had, simple little things. Do you know, one of the things I really did like as well, if you say what's my favourite stocking filler from back then, it would be the game Jacks, jumping Jacks, where you got a little rubber ball and you got all these little spiky jack things, and you threw them on the ground, bounce your ball, and you got to try and pick up as many as you could and catch your ball. And I used to love that. I used to have them quite regularly. I must have lost them a lot, but I used to have them quite a few times in my stockings at Christmas time, and that's probably one of my favourite stocking fillers. I like that. And jigsaws, I do remember a jigsaw stands out in my memory as well. Sherry Lewis and lamb chops, and that was a brilliant jigsaw. I had that for donkey's years, and I don't know what happened to it in the end. I think I had it when I got married, but I don't know what happened to it then. But yeah, I used to like doing that. So I think the first thing that flashes in my head is the recorder, the cassette recorder, and then everything else sort of floods in. I remember having a piano accordion as well one Christmas. My mum used to go to this van that used to come round. They collected money all year round. Then at Christmas time, they came round with the van, well, beginning of December, and what money you'd collected, you'd look in the van and pick what toys you wanted, and you'd have them with what you're already paid for. And I remember my mum trying to get me to have a tea set, but I did not want a tea set at all. Then I wanted this piano accordion, and I had the piano accordion. Christmas Day, there it was on my bed. Santa had bought it me. So yeah, I remember those things. So although I hadn't got a most favourite one, I think the cassette recorder sort of sticks in my mind the most. It was sort of like a grown-up present, really. It was nice. I like that. What else have we got? TV shows. Do I have a particular TV show that I like to watch at Christmas, or anything I'm looking forward to watching at Christmas? Yes, I do. BBC One, 9 o'clock, Christmas Day, the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, and the very last one that they're ever doing. That's what I'm looking forward to watching. I've not had TV Gadget. I don't think they're out yet, but when they do, I'll have a look through, see what else is on, and perhaps have do a vlog on the TV guide and what we're watching. You tell me what you're going to watch. But yeah, I have got a favourite show I'm looking forward to watching, and that's the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, the last one they're ever going to do. So I'm really looking forward to that. I enjoyed that. I remember the other one that they did a few years back, and I've got them all on Blu-ray as well, so I can watch them anytime, the whole series. But I'm looking forward to this, and that then will be on my list for next year's Christmas presents to complete my series. So yeah, I am looking forward to that. So what else have we got? What are we on? Question 5? No, question number 6. Do we buy gifts for our neighbours? No. We don't send cards either. No, none of the neighbours, as far as I'm aware, buy gifts or cards for each other. In the old days, you see people going up and down posting cards, but no, don't really have cards. No, we don't. I'm trying to think of the closest neighbours is that we get a card from. That's a few doors away, because we do get a couple here and there along the street from when Dean was window cleaning, so they still send cards every year. But no, we don't swap gifts or anything like that with neighbours. Got far too many people in my family to be able to even afford to do that, really. But imagine if we said that. Some of my neighbours going along the road that way, well, only a couple that way, happen to be related to me, and I've got grandchildren, got a few grandchildren that live on the street. It's a very big, long street, so they get Christmas presents, of course, but that's because they're my grandchildren. But yeah, the family on the street get them, but not as in neighbours, who aren't family, who aren't related. So no. The last question for today is question number 7. What have I been grateful for this year? And also, I'm going to mention about charities in with this one. So, because what have I been grateful for this year? I've been grateful that we've got to the end of the year and survived it. I'm grateful that we've all got our health and we're all okay and we're all here to see Christmas, or hopefully will be. It's a couple of weeks yet, but you know, so far so good. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we've got, because like Dean retired, so we don't have as much money, we don't have no pension, retirements, nothing like that. So I'm grateful that we're able to still have food, and we're still, you know, got people in our lives who help us and, you know, support us through the year really and help us. So somebody had asked me about charity, so I'm tagging this on because somebody had mentioned to me about could I make people aware of charities this time of the year and like food banks and things like that. So I thought I'd just have a quick chat about charities really, just to finish today's questions off. Charities, now charities come in all forms, don't they? You can have regular payments out of your bank account to certain charities. You can go to charity shops and buy things and money goes to charities. You see things on television for charities, wanting money for charities, and you can do it that way. You can buy things directly for food banks, toy banks, and you know, that kind of thing, animal things. So yeah, there's many different forms of charity, and this is a time of year where you do see me. I mean, you can't switch the television on without seeing a whole row of charities. In fact, Dean said the other day, it says, how are people supposed to live if they've thrown all these charity things at you? We're struggling ourselves, everybody is, and yet this wants £7, this wants £5, this wants £14 a month for this country, that country, and this thing and that thing, you know. And it's one advert after another. And I mean, we're lucky enough because we turn around and say, well, we know what we can afford and what we can't afford. And as a family, we know what we can afford and can't afford, what we can do for charity and what we can't. But we know there's people out there as well that sometimes get sucked in by all of this. We do know a family, an elderly family, that got sucked in by people wanting charity money, and they used to come door to doors, and although they didn't, not allowed to take cash, they would take details, and you know, you'd set up direct debit payments and the people would do it. And then they had no money. They were elderly, they were on pensions, and then so much money ended up going out their account. They had to have somebody intervene to stop it all because they were left with nothing. They couldn't even feed themselves at the end of the day because they were just being taken advantage of, really. So you've got to be wary of things like that. If you're going to give to charities, give what you know you can afford. Don't go beyond that because you leave yourself without, and you know, you can't do that. Nobody can do that. Everything's so expensive these days. Charities, to me, I like to give to charities because I don't like to give money, send money to charities, because I know that charity money is taxed, and if you're sending money that's going abroad to something, not only is it taxed in this country, it'll be taxed in the country it goes to, and I do know that. So I won't send money that, because you can be giving, say you give £10 for something, only half of that might reach the recipient, maybe not even that much, because if it's somewhere that's taking out people's wages, you know, all these companies that have these executives and things, if there's money going out for people like that who work for them, then it's even less that's going to the cause you're actually giving it to. So I think the best thing to do, this is what I think, you know, you can do whatever you like as long as you know what you're doing, you're not sucked into anything. But I think what we like to do is just give food to charities. There's a food bank by us, there's people around us who work for the food banks and these charities and homeless shelters, and they will collect food off you. Sometimes they put it on Facebook locally what they need, like blankets, coats, hats, gloves, toiletries. So what they need, they will say what they want, and you can go to the person or ask them. If you're not able to get to the person, they'll come to you and they will collect what you want. So you're giving exactly what you can give, what you know they want and that they're going to actually get. So you actually, everything you're giving is going to them. And it's the same with food. The food bank is in the local town by us, and people, like I say, in our village, you work for them, and they volunteer work, and they do dinners for the homeless and people who struggle and things like that as well. And they'll be busy like Christmas time now, so it's good to, if you've got extra food, maybe it's in your cupboard, you can find out and give to these places, or if you're in a shop, you can buy a bit of extra something and give it. And the same with toys. You often find, like in places like B&M and Tesco's, places like that will have like trolleys when you come out the till, so you pay for something a bit extra if you can afford to do that, and you can put it straight into the trolley and it is taken to the places where it needs to go, the actual maybe it's hospitals or food banks or wherever it's going. So they're the ones I like, they're the ones that I would contribute to. The only other one that I do contribute to, and I'm not 100% sure where it's going, but is in Poundland. If you pay by card, they'll say, it'll ask you if you want to pay extra 25 pence towards Poundland charities. So I don't know if they sponsor different charities each year or something. I should ask really, but I don't. But I always just think, well, it's 25 pence. If I've got a loose amount of pence my bill comes to, I'll press yes. If my bill comes to a round figure, I press no. That's the way I do it. So yeah, I did say I would mention charities, but I did notice, actually, I was thinking about it, I think it was in B&M, there was a notice that come over to Tannoy, how they play all the music and that, and it's nice because they're playing Christmas songs at the moment, but then it stops and they have a little announcement about if you're able to afford to pick up an extra toy or pack of toiletries or something like that, a gift of any kind, no matter how big or small it is, if you could do that, to do it, and then you put it in the basket at the end, the trolley. I think that's really a good idea. It is a good idea, because a lot of people, and I think that myself, if you're going to give something, you don't want everybody knowing, it's private. You don't want everybody knowing. You're not there to blow your own trumpet. You're there to help others, and you don't need other people to know you're doing it. So, yeah. I just thought I'd add that on, being I was grateful for things that people have done for us this year, and helping out we get from the family and things like that to sort of get us along to retirement. But yeah, families do all help each other a lot, or some do anyway. Others you have to help them. Oh dear. So yeah, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's a season of goodwill, and you should all be helping each other, and you shouldn't just stick to the season of goodwill. It should be an all year round thing. So that's that for today. That's my questions. I feel like I'm glowing because I've got the light on me. But yeah, that's questions for today. If you've got any more questions you'd like to ask me, drop them in the comments. I will jot them on my sheet, and probably in about a week's time we'll do the rest of the questions I've got, and any more that you've got for me. Unless I have loads more come in, then I will end up doing another Q&A, but we should have enough now. Well, we have got enough now for another Q&A, and we can squeeze a few extra in. So yeah, that's that for today. You've had my favourite film, my favourite song, my favourite foods, best thing that I've had for Christmas. You've had what programme I'm looking forward to, and whether I buy gifts for the neighbours or not, and also what I've been grateful for, what we've all been grateful for. And that's that for this time. So we've got a few interesting questions. I'll just give you a recap of some of the questions I've got for next time. People have asked me what my most outstanding Christmas memories are, and my worst Christmas memory, and what would I like to do for Christmas if I could do anything, or have anything, do anything, what Christmas traditions we've got, what I do for last minute gift ideas. Do I have any favourite Christmas books that I read? And have I ever regifted or think I've received a regifted present? So they're all questions to come up next time. But now I'll see you tomorrow on the next vlog, but the questions will be probably another week yet. So until tomorrow, thank you for watching and take care, everybody. Bye.